Galactic Federation, let's talk. So last video I did, I think it was in March, and it was in kind of a reaction to a government official saying that the Galactic Federation exists. And for you that don't know, it is a federation of worlds or light beings, higher dimensional aliens that exist, and they are working for the good. Of course, right? Of course they are. So I've got a lot of really good responses to that, and I hope I get responses to this video. So anything that you guys find interesting about the Galactic Federation, please link down below. Now, there are a lot of people talking about it, especially if you consider yourself a Starseed. I know that you have run across people talking about the Arcturians or the Palladians, the Greys. I don't even know what all of the different races of aliens that exist, allegedly. So if you have a favorite alien race, please list that down below too. And if you're really interested in talking about the Galactic Federation, please leave me a like. Let me know that this is something you're interested in. I also have a reading at the end of this. This is one of my videos where we do a little talk. You guys let me know what you're thinking, and then we do a reading. So if you're just here for the reading, for the Starseed reading, check the description box down below and I will meet you at that tarot reading. Now let's discuss the GFL, the Galactic Federation, the Galactic Federation of Worlds. What do you guys call it? Because I got a spectrum of things from that as well, and I think that is because, again, there's so many people talking about it. So today I kind of just want to shift a little bit and talk about what if they don't exist? What if it's not a thing? And the reason I want to talk about that is because there are a couple of really interesting things that we should be considering, that we should be talking about. First of which, I don't know if you can hear that. There's a lot of planes flying around. That's because I live next to the Air Force Academy. And I bring that up because the US government put out a bunch of information about UFOs, that they acknowledge that UFOs exist. So my thing on UFOs is I think a lot of UFOs are actually us. I think that they weren't really honest or truthful or forthcoming. Why should I expect them to be with all the information that they know about UFOs or aliens or anything really ever? But specifically in this area, I don't think they're truthful. And the reason why is they were developing the SR-71 Blackbird, which is the aircraft that holds the record for greatest height and flown by an aircraft, and then fastest. It's the fastest aircraft ever developed, right? That record is from 1978. And they were developing that in the 50s. And when you think about the 50s, we had lap belts in our vehicles. How fast were cars in the 50s? Computers in the 50s. It was at the very, it was just a handful of people were working on those things. And so many things that we have now, my phone in my pocket right now is more sophisticated than rooms full of computers from that era. It's ridiculous. So really, we just stopped in the 70s? I don't think so. So I think if we are looking at UFOs as the smoking gun, if it were, to the existing of aliens, I don't think that's necessarily true, because I think that the government is way more advanced, and other governments in the world are way more advanced than they are admitting. It's my belief. Let me know what you think. The second point that I want to make on all of this, and it kind of goes back to ancient civilizations. When you look at the pyramids, when you look at some of these things that were happening in our ancient civilizations, And a lot of people are looking at those things and saying that proves the existence of aliens, because how could we have been the architect of the pyramids? How could we have created those without some sort of alien technology? Good point. However, if you're fans of Graham Hancock, very interesting guy, very interesting information. He thinks we did it. He thinks we did it all on our own, and he thinks that the reason, he thinks that there were advanced civilizations, but they weren't alien, they were human. And he makes very compelling arguments, and he's been writing books for decades now on this. And people haven't been taking him seriously, but they kind of are now, because it's like, well, how then have we forgotten all of it? And his explanation to that is that, well, we had a cataclysmic, catastrophic event that wiped out most of the world's population. That could account for the story of Atlantis. That could account for so many flood stories. We do know that about 10, 11,000 years ago, the entire North America burned. You can see that there's ash, and they are looking at Greenland as an area where there was a major asteroid hit that is underneath the ice there. And so he goes into depth in all of this in his books. But could advanced human civilizations seen this coming on and escaped? And then the rest of us, whoever survived, went and lived with the hunter-gatherers and rebuilt our civilization to the point that we are now. Could that have happened? I find that question really intriguing. I find it really interesting. And I think about it all the time, actually. When we look at our development, like, we have existed as we are for at least 100,000 years with our brain capacity that those people living at that time weren't that much different than we are now. So why has all the development been within the last 10,000 years? Good question. So those are my points on the Galactic Federation. My things to consider: that it's not a real thing, because we are our own alien civilization. Now, I love those points, and I think that we can have those things and also have aliens that are at a higher vibration. That would be my bias. So I'm just letting you know where I'm biased and what I think. Otherwise I wouldn't be doing Starseed readings, but you guys might have a different perspective, and you might have, if you have any books on the subject or anything that you think I would be interested in, let me know down below. So please like this video if you're interested in these kinds of subjects. If you've made it this far, I think you are interested, and a like would be great. Thank you, and I will see you at your reading. Hello world, and welcome to Elevated Intuition again. So this is our pick a card reading. I have 3 piles here for us. You can pick a card pile number that looks good to you. This is where you engage your intuition to pick the pile that is calling to you. And then I have the timestamps down below so I can engage my intuition to read that pile for you. If you're new to pick a card readings, well, I just explained how you pick, but also please understand that the messages are general. So take what resonates. And if you're getting into a pile and you're like, this doesn't sound like me, you can go ahead and pick another pile if you'd like. Also, if more than one looks good to you or you can't choose between them, feel free to listen to both. There may be messages in both for you. If you like to pick with crystals, that's the way that I like to pick. I'm putting crystals on them now. So the first pile is going to be represented by this beautiful crystal. This is Labradorite, and I picked this one for our Starseed messages because I think it looks like a galaxy. You can see that it's got a lot of depth to it, and it's just a lot of really pretty colors reflecting from the light. I hope that you can see that. For pile number 2, this is Septarian Nodule. It's formed in Utah, and I picked this one to represent one of our piles here for Starseed messages because I think it looks very alien to me. It's definitely a very unique looking crystal. And then last but certainly not least, for pile number 3, group number 3, we have Sardonyx. So Sardonyx has also a lot of colors in it. Onyx is one of them, that's why, and you can see the dark in here, but very swirly and very interesting. So if you're still not sure, you can take a deep breath with me. I'm going to close my eyes, so you go ahead and close your eyes as well. We're going to take a deep breath in and then release. Just release all the tension. Just be here in the moment. Let your energy focus on this moment and the messages that are right for you. And go ahead and open your eyes, and whichever pile you are drawn towards, that's the pile for you. And I will see you in your reading. Hello, group 1. If you picked the Labradorite or number 1, you are in the right place. I'm going to put these guys out of the way. And let's focus on our cards. I already put the tarot cards out. I have more advice cards waiting to be revealed. So let's take a look at what we have going on here. So your message as a Starseed is, I think that you have reincarnated before. I think that I think you have a little bit of unfinished business. I think that there's an element of karma that you're inviting in here to your life, where you feel like you want to accomplish with this incarnation here on Earth. You're definitely here to hold a higher vibration. You're here to help heal old wounds, and some of these old wounds are your own, and that's okay. You know, when we talk about spirituality and the earth plane, nobody says that this is easy. Nobody says that being in the third dimension, that being in the material world is easy. Even if you are not, even if you only believe you have one lifetime and, you know, you have very strict kind of maybe religious beliefs, nobody thinks that your life is easy, or is it's supposed to be. And I don't think that, I know you know it's not going to be easy, but this is going to be a little bit of clarity for you, I think. So we have over here, let's talk about these guys. We've got the 8 of Cups reversed, Wheel of Fortune, and then 3 of Swords reversed. So all of these are reversed. And in fact, the only card that you have out on the table that is upright here is the Page of Wands. So you also have the Empress reversed and 6 of Cups reversed. So I think that this, or it's the Page of Swords, sorry. The Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is kind of like your, like all of this is kind of like your reason for being. Some of it is how you can make the most of your life's purpose here. And the Page of Swords is really like, this is a new beginning. This is from scratch. This is, you are not backing down, right? The Page of Swords is, I don't want to say noob, because like I said, I think you're like an old soul, but you're coming at this maybe from a new perspective, a new way. There's definitely books here, so knowledge. So you have knowledge, and you have this new kind of like spark of idea, this new curiosity, this new thirst really for knowledge to make this time, this your purpose right now, the most, you're getting the most out of it that you can. So great. But let's go back here to kind of like the beginning, or maybe why you wanted to reincarnate here on Earth at this time. Because we talk about this is a pretty difficult time for starseeds. There is a lot of pain that we're healing, and I see that right here with the Three of Swords, your own or otherwise. There's again karma that we feel like we're putting out, we're holding the higher vibration, we're putting out this great vibration, and we're not always seeing that return, and that's why I think that the Wheel of Fortune is in reversed. And then a lot of times we feel like we might just want to walk away. Like, why are we even here? Like, why did I sign up for this? Why are we doing this? So, and that's kind of this feeling here of the Eight of Cups. But because the Eight of Cups, I'll show it to you upright. Eight of Cups, she's like, nope, I'm turning my back. I'm walking away. I'm starting a different journey. I'm going someplace else. I'm done with it. When it's in reverse, it's like, okay, I really kind of do want to walk away, and I know I have these feelings of walking away at times, but I know I'm supposed to be here, and I'm trying this one more time. And I think that is something to celebrate, and the reason why I think that is not only because we have the Page of Swords over here, because I think that you're going to meet the challenge, but I think that it's something to celebrate because, as I say, we're going to do this one more time. Is it Daft Punk? The song One More Time, like that just is playing in my head, and it's a very upbeat song, and it's a dance song, and it's like, yeah, but in the next verses we're gonna celebrate. So even though you know that there's pain here, you're kind of like this Page of Swords, you really have the courage here to focus on it. You really have the courage here to face it. Like, you're gonna slay this dragon, and you're here for that in spite of the pain. And that's what this Three of Swords is about, pain. But let's talk about the Wheel of Fortune first. So I hinted on something about karma, and you feeling like things, maybe like a sense of fairness, like things aren't fair or they haven't been fair, and you're here to set some things right. And I feel like that's what the Wheel of Fortune is here when it's in reverse. I also feel like you're here to break cycles. Wheel of Fortune can also be resistant to change. So even though you have this, you're going to slay this dragon this time, and you're here with this intent that you're going to do that, you are definitely meeting that resistance. You're going to have resistance. You're trying to do something new. Remember though that you're not alone in doing this, even though there's no specific cards here relating necessarily to other starseeds. This is more about, as I'm looking at the cards like the Empress in the reverse, this is more about you and how you feel about yourself and how you heal yourself. But you are not alone in doing this. So you're not the only one trying to break this cycle. You're not the only one trying to spin this wheel and we're going to change the destiny here, or we understand like the importance of this moment in this time to hold this higher vibration and just to be here, even though sometimes it's very difficult. And you know that your presence here is a gift. So whenever you do feel like heartbreak, just remember you are a gift. You can tell that to other people too, by the way, if you need to. Let other people know that you are a gift. You are a gift to the world. But knowing this heartbreak, I mean, look at how excruciating this heart has been, like torn apart, shredded. But you're here putting it back together, and you're definitely tied to it. It's tied to you. And you're like, you know what? I know that this heart has been shredded. I may have even had a hand in it at one point, when you are stuck in like really the third dimension, and you understand that you could have hurt other people and other people have hurt you, but it's you know that at this point you're in time, in this lifetime right now, that you're breaking that cycle, you're changing that cycle. And we're going from heartbreak, we're going to really let go of we're going to release it. We're going to forgive. And forgiveness is really important for yourself as well. And let go of negative self-talk and release that and release our pain, because it's important that you do that for yourself as well. A lot of times we're definitely more inclined to help or to forgive other people than we are to forgive ourselves. But forgiving ourselves is very, very important because it helps release us from this toxic self-talk and just this toxicity. And when you can heal yourself, you can heal the world. And in fact, that's the name of the book, Heal Thyself, Heal Thy World, by Silvana Candela. I actually know her in real life. She used to have a store here in Colorado. Absolutely a healer. So she definitely has healing energies. I've gone to her for acupuncture. She's the real deal. So if that Heal Thyself, Heal the World really resonates with you, you might want to check her out. She has a YouTube channel, although she hasn't posted a lot, but she also has a book. But that concept is really important, and it's really with the other cards and the context of this Empress in reverse. You know, the Empress is somebody who's very nurturing for other people, and it's a lovely idea that you're coming here to help others, and you're just going to give everything that you've got. And I think you have that idea in your head. However, you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to take care of yourself first, and you have to heal your own wounds first, and you have to forgive yourself first before you really fully forgive other people. And I think that's really something that's important for you on your journey to this stuff, and the reasons why you are here is going just put that down, let it go, let it get rid of it. Don't let it hang on you anymore, so that you can really go out and be the best Page of Swords that you can be. Because that's what we need you for. That's what you need to do. We need you for that because that's what you need. We have the Six of Cups here. The Six of Cups is another, when it's in reverse, it's another card really talking about letting go, because it is living in the past. You can see this, it's him with this puppy, and then they get older. So in reverse, it's just, we need to let go of things in the past. And I feel like it's negative thinking, just because we have got the Three of Swords reversed here, and we're breaking cycles. So we're letting go of things that didn't work, and we're bringing in, we got to let go of the old things before we can bring new things in, is where I'm going with that. I also feel like we need to bring some playfulness in. You need to bring in some joy. When you're dwelling in the past and dwelling in heartaches, we're not letting in that joy. And I think that just letting go of heartaches and bringing in joy is really going to help you to help the world. So let's see some key attributes for you. Slave, the light attribute is surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. So that's really great when you can trust in the universe and trust in that around you, and not really be worried. Shadow attribute is giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. So I think, stepping into your own power is really important. Making your own choices is really important. And also looking at what you've done in the past and reconciling with that. I know a lot of Starseeds, because I talk to a lot of people who are interested in that, or interested in spirituality, interested in journeys, or going through the dark night of the soul. Like, it can be really painful awakening, and you are really questioning, like, wait, I chose to be here. Why would I do that? So this is just telling us that you need to let go and reconcile with that choice that you did that. And you did it for a reason. You did it for a good reason. And then child orphan, light attributes is independence based on learning to let go or learning to go it alone and conquering fear of surviving. Very interesting, fear of surviving. Shadow attributes, feeling of abandonment that stifle. Sorry about that. Feeling of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. So if you didn't feel like you got enough love in some way and then seeking it, and then that allowing you, because you're open to people who may not be trustworthy and then manipulate you. So all of this really is standing in your own power. We also have change. The frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that you can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the rebirth of the new. So very, very connected, because we've been talking about release. I also love where they talk about inward to outward, because part of what we were talking about with this Empress was healing yourself so that you are available to really help and heal the world. And if you are feeling like an orphan, if you're feeling like you are like in the matrix or enslaved in the matrix in some way, we really need to shift that thinking and change. Also very connected to the Wheel of Fortune, when we are letting go of old cycles of thinking, and we're really bringing about a new era. And you are here to do that. You are here to anchor in that positive energy. You are here to be at that higher vibration to do that. Final advice cards. The Courageous Peony. I didn't know that peonies could be courageous. Multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen. So the peony, right? When you think about flowers, they're very beautiful flowers, and maybe they're not your first choice. You might think about roses or orchids or tulips or daisies, lilies. But there's also this peony. The peony is a pretty magnificent flower, and every flower that I've mentioned is pretty magnificent, right? But they don't stifle each other. It's not like if the rose is beautiful, the peony can't be beautiful. They also smell really good. I like them. My mom has them. So it is about being you and embracing you in everything that is you. It's you being you without worrying about the rose, you being the peony without worrying about whoever the daisy is, or, you know, you are beautiful in your own way, and really embracing that and loving that about yourself. And I think that would be like the next step, like after this Page of Swords, is because when we let go of all of this heartbreak and anger and things that we're upset about, like, you really find how you are unique and beautiful, and we are going to honor that. And then the last card is, you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. True north, I love that. I love that expression, because that is where you put your attention. That is where you put your direction. And I think that, and it's one point, right? When you are trying to people please, when you are trying to be something for everyone, you are not yourself, and you get really kind of confused. When I'm looking at this change, like this change wheel, there are different points along these bands of circles here. Where you are the strongest, or where you like don't feel the change the most, is when you're standing in your unique power, like at the center. And all of this is really embracing yourself, embracing who you are, and doing it unapologetically, forgiving yourself, loving yourself, and healing yourself so that you are available to do that for others. You're not for everyone. That's okay. Like, because when you feel like you're for everyone, or you try to be like that chameleon, you don't even know what color you are anymore. You don't even know what your skin looks like anymore. You know what the shell, who it is that makes up your body. And when you're not like focused on your journey and your true north and where you're supposed to go, you kind of miss opportunities. And we're here to bring it back here to the center of you and who you are, and loving yourself, and just being really in that beautiful frequency of love and light that you need to be in. So that's what I have for you, group 1. Really a lot of beautiful messages, very much about healing, very much about standing in your power. And this, like I said, this Page of Swords is a beautiful jump off point for you. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 2. You picked the number 2 or the Septarian nodule or both. You are in the right place. I'm just going to move those out of the way. So I put our tarot cards out, and I have further advice cards that'll come out and be revealed a little bit later. Let's take a look at the groups that we have going on here, though. So we've got the 7 of Cups reversed, the 2 of Wands, and the Ace of Wands over here, with the 7 of Swords reversed, the World, and the 8 of Pentacles reversed. So very interesting. I think you are somebody who is good at a lot of different things, and that makes it hard to focus on one thing. And I think we're going to talk about you narrowing some things down and how you can do that. And then also taking that to completion. I also feel like there are some things you might be shying away from because you think it might take a long time to complete. I just want to tell you that, basically anything that you want to do. So don't think small here. Now is the time to think big. Anything that you want to do, you're going to be able to accomplish it, and you are going to be able to just knock it out of the park and be amazing at it. So don't feel like something is off the table of your options because it's going to take time. The time is going to pass anyway. You may as well be working on something that is your dream. And you are meant to live your dreams here with this World card here. And that's why I'm saying, whatever you do, you're gonna be amazing at it. But now it seems like it's the time to kind of pick something. The reason I'm talking about that is we've got our 7 of Cups reversed. So 7 of Cups talks about, I really feel like the 7 of Cups and the World kind of both talk about the world as your oyster, right? Meaning that you can do anything you want and put your mind to it. Now, the World is a completion card, which means that, yeah, you're going to be able to complete it as well. Now, you might need some steps along the way, especially with some planning here, and I think that's why you've got the 2 of Wands. But we need to narrow some choices down. We need to make sure that whatever you're picking is aligned with your personal values. And when the 7 of Cups is in reverse, I also feel like you can be really overwhelmed by all the choices in front of you. And sometimes when we're overwhelmed, we don't make a choice at all, right? And we just sit there and don't do anything for years and years and years. Now, I feel like you might be overwhelmed because something you want to do is really big, whether that's start a business or go to medical school. Something that you want to do is going to take some time. You know what? that's what we got, baby. We've got all this time here. I also feel like you're not really meant to work super hard. Like, yeah, and what I mean by that is, I said you were good at a lot of things, and I'm really feeling that. And I think that you might be shying away from something because you think that it's going to be difficult for you to do. You are going to do something that you love, because then it's not going to feel like a job. And I'm really feeling like, you know, I know people who work 24/7, but it doesn't feel like work to them because they're doing something that they love. And I feel like that is for you. You just need to identify what it is that you love. I also feel like you might be like really in touch with other people and what they feel and think. Like this Ace of Wands that it's here on her third eye, or his third eye. Because you are connected with others, so you might have a hard time deciding what's right for you and the right path for you, because you are you know, you're open to suggestion from other people, and other people are giving you their experiences. So it's really important at this time to ask yourself some questions. I can't tell you what path is going to be right for you. You have to do that yourself. And you have to understand that you might be getting input from others. I feel like whatever it is that you want to do, you kind of know what you want to do, but you might be afraid to reveal that to other people. And let's see. Let's talk about the Two of Wands here. Once you find that direction that you're going towards, the Two of Wands says, hey, let's put some planning behind it. Let's take a large view. Let's decide what our steps are. Like if you're want to go to medical school, like what are you going to do for your bachelor's degree? Where are you going to go to medical school? How are you going to pay for it? Things like that. Those are things that you need to consider and put into it. If you are starting your own business, how are you going to start off? Where are you going to get the capital? Are you going to do it as a side hustle at first? Are you going to get a job in the field that you want to be in eventually? Or are you going to get a job that maybe pays more, but that'll help you get the capital? This is where you are putting in all, you know, you're coming up with your plans and your contingency plans and where you want to be in 5 years, and deciding that for you. And I feel like with the lizard here and the cat here is that you have people, there's two cats. You have people who are on your side and really rooting for you to do this. So don't feel like you're isolated or alone, especially here in the Seven of Swords reversed. Don't feel like you need to sneak around. People want you to succeed, and they really see you on this beach over here, this really completion with the world. They know that you are more than capable of handling this. What you need to do is know that you are more than capable of handling this. This is the Ace of Wands, so this is like a spark, an inspiration, or a new opportunity coming for you. This is a lot of growth potential. This is a lot of stuff behind it, and a lot of times that comes in and you don't really know what to do with it. That's why it's right here, out here with the Two of Wands, because you need to consider what it is that you're going to do with it. Let's talk about the Seven of Swords reversed. Stand in your own power, believe in yourself, and this is you being you. You're not sneaking around anymore. You're not acting behind people's backs. You're not worried about what people will say. If you want to be an influencer on Instagram, this is you going for it, because something like that is very visible and you have to put it out there. This can also talk about imposter syndrome, where a lot of times we're good at something and we kind of like look around at other people and realize that they're not good at it, and then we're wondering like, well, you know, what makes me so special? You make you so special. Marianne Williamson said something about that our true what we are truly afraid of is not our weakness, but our power. We're truly afraid of our power. And I think a lot of times we put ceilings on ourselves, but you're not meant to put that ceiling on yourself. You're meant to be over here. You're meant to be the world. You're meant to hold the world in your hand over here. You're meant to have grand plans. You are a starseed. You are meant to be this big, bright, beautiful person that is out there and seen by everyone. And I think too, because you are good at things, this is the Eight of Pentacles reversed, because you are so good at things, maybe there is an element of criticism that people who have a more difficult time doing the same thing that you do, they might criticize you. And then you're wondering, like, well, what makes me so good at this? We all have our own natural gifts, and you're meant to discover yours and really go out and showcase that. You're meant to make money off of what sparks this passion inside of you. Your job is meant to not really feel like a job for you. And that's okay. And the thing is like, not everybody's going to get the same results, but you don't worry about what everybody else is doing. And if somebody is critical of what you're doing because they don't get the same results, that's not for you. That's their own concern or worry coming into that. Their own thing that they need to address within themselves, not you address within you. And I almost feel like you need to put like a barrier or some protection around yourself, or boundaries that you aren't, even if it's just something in your own mind, that you're not even going to entertain that if somebody is speaking negatively about you, because you've had your own negative thoughts about yourself, this own imposter syndrome. And we really need to just act strategically and be smart. You're just going to work smarter, not harder. And you're going to work on something that you love so it doesn't feel like work. So the next two cards are attributes. So this is the child divine. The light attribute is innocent, purity, and redemption. Suggests a special connection with the divine. And the shadow attribute is an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. What were we just talking about? Yeah, there is something special about you and you stick out in some way. So then when there is some criticism that comes in, it's really hard for you to defend because you don't know exactly what makes you different. You don't know exactly what makes you special. But the thing is everybody is special in their own way. So just because you have found a way for your light to shine, it doesn't mean, it shouldn't take away from other people. So let me pump you up here. Don't let other people talk you down. And then monk nun, that's interesting. Light attributes is selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. So yeah, we need to narrow some things down. Here, that's kind of related to this Seven of Cups card, where we've got all of these things going on, and then it's like, hey, you're going to be really more successful if you kind of start narrowing things down and specialize in it. And then the shadow attribute is negative judgment of the physical world, excess piety. So this is really kind of, if you identify as a starseed and taking it to the extreme where, well, I'm a starseed and you're not, kind of thing. But that you're not meant to do that either. You need to find some balance here and be in the middle and be happy and successful in what you're doing. The next card we have is compassion. The frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. Lovely. So one thing that I was talking about over here with you discovering your path and where you are supposed to go and your position here in the world and everything is you narrowing it down. And then and I said something about maybe that you need clarity on that for yourself, because other people, you might be getting some input from other people. This kind of reminds me of that, because if you are connected to others, you might be picking up on their values and their ideas and what they're doing. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's almost like an empathic thing. And there's nothing wrong with that, other than it shifting you from your own course. So I think something that might be difficult for you is figuring out what is the voice inside your head and what is guiding you versus like your mother's voice in your head or your friend's voice in your head or just general society in your head. But I also love this that you are like between you're just allowing love into your heart. I feel like when love comes in and with your divine child and this monk nun attribute over here, I feel like you are a beautiful conduit for love, that you just open up and allow it in so that it can ripple through you and throughout the world. So yeah, I'm not putting too much on you here. You're just, you're just expressing love through the world. Empathic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. So lovely. Yeah, you definitely need to put some I think I even talked about boundaries over here, where it is lovely to be an energetic starseed or empathic starseed, and really just your presence here on Earth and holding the higher vibration and your recognition of being a starseed and that you're here to love people. That is, a beautiful gift that you have for the world. However, you can't always, or maybe you can with this monk nun, but if you're having a hard time always being in that spirit and not understanding like the difference, your own personal energy versus the energy from other people, or that you really feel deeply when somebody is negative, we need to talk about putting up some boundaries between you and others, or at least times where you are you cut ties, and maybe even just closing your eyes, or at the end of the night, like consciously stating in your mind or in your prayers that you're pulling back all of your energy that belongs to you. You can also do something like, sometimes we create these energy ties between you and another person, if positive or negative, and maybe you just close your eyes and just cut all of those ties or shave off all of those ties. Like think about the other people that might be connected to you and just like pull all of those back. Really, if you're going to meditate and you really want to get into your own thoughts or your own feelings, maybe that is you close your eyes and put a bubble around yourself and fill it with white light. And that is a way for you to put boundaries between people. You can also do some physical boundaries where there are people who, if they just bring you down, you're just not going to be near them anymore. You might have to do that so that you can be at a higher level. I can tell you that I really feel this empathic starseed for myself. I was having like these almost suicidal thoughts. And it was really strange because there was just no reason or form behind it until I realized that they didn't belong to me. And if that happens to you, you really need to, if you think about working with crystals, you might want to look into that and how you can put protections around yourself so that those things don't harm you. And then earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down time in nature. So this card is really talking about you connecting with the earth, that it might be time to shut off YouTube and go outside. Like, when was the last time you spent some time outside? When was the last time you put your toes in some sand? Like over here in the world, she's putting her toes in the sand, she's putting her toes in the water. Like, I feel like this card is not only talking about like the spirit and the joy that you should be in, the vibration, the love that you're putting out to the rest of the world, and that you're holding this higher vibration, but that you can also connect with nature and really kind of ground yourself. And I feel like this earth pulsing is very connected to that as well, and giving you a way to, clear your mind, because when you connect with the earth, you clear your mind. Sometimes we are moving so quickly, either figuratively, when we're talking about the information that's coming in and the things that we are reading, the things that we are watching, but we're moving quickly in our vehicles as well. So this is talking about just slowing down, taking a moment, taking some deep breaths. I just noticed this. I didn't notice this before. There is actually a guy, this blue outline of a body is somebody sitting here, like lying here. So you may need to take a rest. You may need to do some meditation, do some breathing exercises to really connect to earth. So that is what I have for you, my lovely little starseed. I hope you have a fantastic day, and just hold that higher vibration. Sending you some love as well, because I'm feeling it from you. I'm feeling that in my heart chakra. That so weird, almost like a purring. So maybe a lot of you are connected with felines, that I'm like, wow, feeling a purring here, and I don't have a cat. So very lovely, and I hope that you have a fantastic day. Thank you. Hello, group 3. If you picked the number 3 or the Sardonyx or both, you are in the right spot. So I'm just going to move that over here to the side while we have a look at your cards. So we've got the 5 of Swords, the Fool in reverse, and the Devil. And then we've got the Queen of Swords, the 3 of Wands, and the 7 of Swords. And both of these, 3 of Wands and 7 of Swords, are reversed. So very interesting. We've got 2 major arcana cards. That would be the Fool reversed and the Devil. So these are major elements, more so major energies than the other ones. The other ones can be a little bit more fleeting energies. The Devil and the Fool are some major energies, some major things for you to think about, some major things for us to talk about. I feel like the other 2, I feel like you might be a little bit more guarded than my other 2 piles. I really felt a really good flow there, and I'm feeling like some boundaries. The Queen of Swords is notorious for putting up boundaries, which is good in some ways. She is an expert communicator though. But she is not so open with her emotions, and I feel like you're very guarded with your emotions here. I almost feel like also that you maybe feel stuck in some way. I also feel like you're holding back, and there's a couple reasons why I feel like you're holding back. I feel like you're very, very powerful. You have the Queen of Swords here. She is an amazing, queens are amazing creators. And the Queen of Swords is an amazing creator with knowledge. She's an expert communicator. And I'm wondering if you're having a hard time believing that about yourself for various reasons. Maybe this Five of Swords can give us a clue. Five of Swords is very a lot of miscommunications and with other people. The Five of Swords talks about like some conflicts or disagreements. There are like these three witches that are competing against each other. They really should be having a great time creating together, but they're not. And I'm wondering if you are either somebody who likes to do things on your own, somebody who's pretty independent, and so then when you have group projects, things come up. Although you should be able to communicate that, you really should. However, just because we're gifted in areas doesn't mean we always use those gifts, right? So this is kind of like winning the battle but losing the war. Maybe this day you're here with these other people and you're trying to create this potion and you have the best idea, or you think you do, on it, but you just like ram it down their throats. So you might get your point across today, but you lose the war because they don't want to work with you later. So I'm feeling that right now. I also feel like, but you could be this person here who's getting run over a little bit, and I'm saying that because we have the Fool in reverse. I really need you to step into your power and start maybe letting this witch know that you have some amazing ideas. Yeah, you need to let yourself be seen. You need to let yourself be known. I think there's a lot of things under the surface that you aren't releasing or letting go. The Fool and the Three of Wands, like both of them, show the cards upright, like they are kind of ready to do something. They're ready to go somewhere. They're ready to step off this cliff. They're ready to travel. They're ready to move. But in reverse, they're not doing that. So that's why I'm feeling like this stuck energy, and I'm feeling like it is probably related to other people, that you're not getting your ideas across. And that you're really holding back, and you might be afraid to let people see you for who you really are. But look at who you really are. I think part of that might be that people might think that you are this, and this is all in your head, like the devil is somebody who very associated with their ego and egotistical, and the devil, it can talk about addictions, like if you are an addictive personality, the extreme of addictions, being addicted, having a harmful addiction like heroin or drugs or alcohol, something like that. Pulling it back though, we can have minor addictions. We can really even be addicted to feeling sad. We can be addicted to our own negative thoughts. We can be addicted to being in a victim mentality. And I think we need to cut ties with that. And really, I'm saying victim mentality because I'm seeing that here. And then with the Fool should be free. The Three of Wands it should be ready to take your ideas and step forward. The Seven of Swords reverse is somebody who's kind of like afraid to be seen who they really are. But who you really are is this Queen of Swords. I think that you're concerned. I said this in another reading, and I'm giving a different feeling in this reading than that one, but we aren't, Marianne Williamson said that we aren't afraid of our weaknesses. We're really afraid of our power, that we're powerful, more powerful beyond measure. I feel like you are very powerful. However, I think that you just don't want to be seen as that, because a lot of people kind of resist power, or you may have had a negative, you don't want to be seen in a negative light. You don't want to be seen as being manipulative. Kind of with this Devil card, like you are in touch with your own thoughts and feelings, and when you unleash power, there's like a negative and dark side to that as well. And I think you're a little bit afraid of it. You're afraid if you can contain it. And, you know, that is a legitimate fear, because in the history of humanity, we've done some pretty terrible negative things to each other. But what I need for you is to start believing in yourself. I think you know, like underneath the surface, who you are. We just need to peel back those layers and reveal it. Because there are some really great things that you can do with that. We're talking about being Starseed. This is a Starseed reading. We're talking about being here and choosing to be here to hold a higher vibration. I think that you are kind of possibly gotten comfortable. You know you're special, but maybe you've gotten like some play out of some of this victim mentality. But it's time to step up. It's time to really step up and step into your power. And that's what the Seven of Swords reverse is about, is letting the world see who you really are. Seven of Swords is somebody who's being sneaky and kind of going behind people's backs. That's not you anymore. This could also talk about you kind of going through a dark night of the soul and doing some shadow work. Both the Devil and the Seven of Swords can talk about shadow work. I think that, you know, part of the shadow work is loving yourself no matter what, and understanding, you know, we have the shadow self, paying attention to your emotions, and really paying attention to people who annoy you. If you just meet somebody and they just annoy you, and maybe they're this witch over here, and she just is like bossy and pushy and opinionated, and I mean, she's really smart and intelligent, but she just has her own opinions about something. Like that can reveal something about yourself. Like maybe deep down you're kind of the same way that she is, but really looking into that shadow work and loving yourself no matter what, because the universe loves you and we love you no matter what. And that is maybe part of your journey of why you are here, to do this discovery, and to like dig deep into yourself. Find this Queen of Swords, but also embrace this dark side, this dark ego of yourself as well. So the Queen of Swords has an ego. I mean, she's a pretty brilliant lady, and she can come across as pretty cold, and maybe sometimes she is, and maybe you don't want to be seen that way, but if that's how you are, you got to embrace it and really shift the energy of the way that you think about yourself. So let's see what other cards we have. We have the Rebel. The Devil card can really be a rebel. The Light attribute is challenges authority to affect social change, rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. And the Shadow attribute is rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels out of pure pressure or fashion. So yeah, there's some really great things about a rebel, and if you're feeling that, if that resonates with you, we need to concentrate on doing things in a positive way, in a positive light. Every attribute that we have, we can if we embrace it and look at it, we can really use these things to our advantage and to the advantage of everybody else, because we're really thinking on terms of everyone being connected and raising the vibration of the planet. And then look at this, Knight. So Light attributes is loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. And then the Shadow attributes is allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle, and then romantic delusions. So I've had my own romantic delusions, I get that. So it's just like come back down, be a little bit realistic. I think that the Queen of Swords is very realistic, so that balances out really well. And I also feel like the destructive ruler is yourself. that you have an allegiance to yourself. So really embrace this ego part of you and understand, you know, your darkness. We all have a dark side. We all have the capacity to be really brutal, and history should tell us that. But if we ignore it, it actually is worse than if we face it and integrate it and embrace it and love ourselves. Emergence, the frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with a childlike attitude of innocence and wonderment, and to watch and celebrate the beauty that unfolds from that place. So I love the beauty inside here. And this is really, you know, I was talking about the Fool in reverse and the Three of Wands in reverse and kind of like stuck. Well, emergence would be the Fool upright. The emergence would be that innocence, that love, that freedom, that carefreeness. And I feel like we really kind of gain that freedom when we embrace our dark side and we really understand it. When we we delve into our own psyche and understand it, and realizing that we aren't that different from somebody that you absolutely love. Like, and you need to be that person that you love. And then we have the you're not alone, isolation, physical connection, and community. I love that these are, you know, that really feeling that connection with another person. It has a very much of like the Lovers feel in tarot, related to Gemini, you know, the twins. And, you know, when we, like this victim mentality, a lot of times feels alone, or when we don't embrace our dark side, we feel like we're the only ones who have this dark side. And when I say embrace your dark side, I absolutely don't mean like go out and harm somebody if you've had thoughts of harming other people. I'm just saying that understand that we all do. We have all had those thoughts. Sometimes when we're driving. So road rage can be a thing, and you've seen it to the extreme. I mean, you've seen it on the news to the extreme. But if you like understand that you have that capacity, then you understand like how you can like hold yourself back from that, and that you are not the only person who has that capacity. I also feel like you can be an old soul. And sometimes when you are a starseed, when that resonates with you and you are an old soul, you don't really need other people, right? You have everything inside of you. But as humans, we are pack animals, so it's important that you connect with other people and you connect with your community. And that we're meant to be together and we're meant to be connected. So don't let something that don't hold back because you feel like people wouldn't love you for some reason or another. We're letting go of that victim mentality. We're embracing our true selves, our whole selves, and connecting with other people. And then we have star ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. So this is deeper within yourself. This is deeper within any knowledge that you seek. I love that the pyramids are here. I love that the pyramids, the pyramid shape. It really is kind of just, it's a shape that allows wisdom in. It's a shape that allows like magnification on things. There are, I have a little pyramid thing here, so let me show you. Okay. And when I have this out, I'm allowing knowledge to come in here and just kind of like emanate then through through my space. The larger pyramids are allowing information to come in to the world, and I feel like this is you opening up to ancient wisdom, as it says, to hidden secrets. A lot of times those things, they really, we get information in and we just have to run it through that kind of filter, that internal filter that we have. When I was talking about these readings and if they resonate for you, does it resonate with that ancient wisdom? A lot of these things, we just don't, you sitting on your couch, wherever you are, you're not going to unlock the secrets of the pyramids because you aren't an archaeologist and they're not going to let you touch them. However, if you are a starseed, then you could have been there at one time, at one lifetime. It's allowing that information to come in. It's accessing the Akashic records. It's listening to readings like mine, and does this resonate for you or not? Listening to channeled messages from people, and I feel like if you're sticking with me this far through this reading, I feel like it's something that you are natural at, because you've been there, done that. You're an old soul. You're able to look deeper, which is why I think that you're really able to handle your ego. You're really able to look at your shadow self and do that shadow work. And the reason that you're doing it is you're doing it for the betterment of everyone around you. You're doing it for this emergence. You're doing this to emanate love and hold that higher vibration for everyone. And that's how you are able to hold that higher vibration, by just integrating your whole self. So that's what I have for you, group 3. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next reading.